I'm just going to drink my coffee for a second while we're waiting for Hope. Sorry, guys. I got to have some caffeine. I've not literally had a full cup of coffee all day. And Hope will be right in here. Hope has been helping the other families get acclimated to doing Facebook chat. So her and Laura and several of the other volunteers have been doing practice. I can hear Hope. We have Hope.
Oh, we're just celebrating. It's just what we do here.
Well, it's been a great day. Why not celebrate? It's CDH Awareness Day, right? Hi, Clyde. How are you? Hi there. Hi. You guys look great. Those are some really cool shirts you have on there. I love those.
Good, right?
Those are some pretty awesome shirts. Those shirts, for those who don't know, are the shirts from our conference last year in Utah, where the Clydes live. And they and the Hensleys and Gaffney University of Utah, put on the conference for us, did a phenomenal job. The best conference so far, seriously. Great turnout, a lot of fun, and we had a lot of support.
Goodbye.
All right. Hey, Randy.
Tyler, you can come closer. You can say hi and bye to Don. Come right here so she can see your pretty face.
Don.
Hi, Tyler.
I'm making them all leave.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's great seeing you guys. I'll see you soon in person, I hope. Thank you for making an appearance. Thank you for the dance, Randy. That was awesome. Great. That was cool. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who can't tell, I am close personal friends with the Clydes. They're amazing, and I love them to pieces, and their family to me. And that happens in our charity. We get that close to families, and they're good people. Is my grandparents would say, good people. A little crazy, but aren't we all? But so those fun, yes, fun. And for those of you who don't know Hope, she is one of our most active volunteers. She's often Tracy's right hand, helping families directly. She did a tremendous amount of work helping with the conference. I mean, it was phenomenal. They did a great job. And a tremendous amount of work helping with this telethon. And like me, Hope is running on fumes. And we're a little silly tired at this point. I know I am.
I have a whole fridge full of Coca-Cola that's going to keep me going to the end.
Don't give them plugs unless they sponsor us, Hope.
Okay, never mind. There's some really nice liquid out there.
Okay, non-alcoholic. All right. So often what we do is we we find the humor and have fun with our relationships here at CDHi, because CDH itself is pretty horrific. It's an awful experience, and we try to bring a little bit of hope to that. So there's our Hope. See, Hope, tell us about your family's journey with CDH.
Well, a lot of people know our story already. I'm not shy about sharing it. It's something we've done. Tyler was diagnosed on October 1st, 2001. And thankfully, our perinatologist said, you need to go home and Google cherubs, like angels. This is exactly what he said. Go home and Google cherubs, as in angels, cherubs. And I was like, yeah, okay. And he said, no, write it down. This is important, write it down. And so I wrote it down, and I went home to my in-laws, and I Googled it, because it was, in 2001, nobody had internet at their house, So we Googled it and found cherubs right away. So Tyler was born in 2002, right before the Salt Lake Winter Games. We live in Utah. Had his repair at 5 days. Typical story. It was hard. It was good. It was crazy. Anyhow, came home. He reherniated at 4 months old, back to Salt Lake, 5 hours away, to have repair surgery. And then we came home, and things were normal. What's normal? I have no idea, but things went really good for a lot of years. Tyler would experience growth spurts, and when he would, his scar would hurt. He would call it a scar. His scar would hurt, and I would rush him to our beloved doctor, and we would check and make sure everything was okay, and everything was always fine. But I always knew that something could go wrong. I always knew that something, just because he was doing okay didn't mean he was always going to be okay. And I was definitely not one of those people that thought it was a one and done type of thing. Like, oh, he's been repaired, he's fixed, we're done. No. I am not the person that ever believed that. I always had a feeling there was something else. And so I got a lot of criticism with that, with family and friends, as I, raised Tyler, as Randy and I raised Tyler. And if he had pains and we would take him to the doctor, we always got, people, how that goes. I don't know if it wasn't, anyhow, 14 years old, he started getting stomach pain, and the stomach pain got worse. And one night it got so bad, he said, Mom, I think we need to go get it checked. And I said, it's Saturday night, our doctor's not in. We would have to go to the ER. Like, the ER is a big deal. Like, are you, is this a big deal? And he said, yeah, I think something's really wrong. And we've always taught Tyler to listen to his body. You tell us what's happening with you, and we'll follow through with that. So when he said, yeah, I think it's time for the ER, we got in the car and went right to the ER. And we got a CAT scan, and the doctor came out and he said, well, he definitely has reherniated. And our world crashed all the way around us. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. Everything went silent. It just was awful. Here's my big, huge 14-year-old boy, and he knows what this means, and I know what this means, and we all know what this means. Anyhow, it was quite a hard time, but we went to Salt Lake and had his surgery a month later, and we learned a lot of things. Some of the things we learned that I think are important to note. That x-ray that we would get every 6 months of his life to check for reherniation, to make sure things were okay. We learned that as they get bigger, I don't know what bigger is, I don't know what bigger is, but as they get bigger, the x-rays will not show a reherniation as well. If you have a feeling that something is wrong and the x-rays look okay, get the CAT scan. CAT scan is what diagnosed Tyler. His x-rays from before surgery to after surgery looked identical. We can go back years on his x-rays and they looked identical. So, important lessons there. Don't rely on the x-rays. Another thing that we learned was never to ignore your intuition. We've always learned that. We've always known that, is to never ignore your mother's intuition, your father's intuition. You know your kid better than anyone else, so pay attention to that. So we got Tyler, he had his repair done. He did really good. He came home. It was crazy. It was hard. He's 14 and a half. And healing took longer than we thought it would. And eventually he was healed and done. And now we have this crazy, you saw him dancing, 16-year-old that is just as normal and as regular as any old 16-year-old boy. And if you hang out with 16-year-old boys, we both know, you know what I mean. They're a little crazy. But things are so great. I mean, that's our story. That's like the condensed version of the Clyde story. But honestly, I've listened all day. I've listened to everybody tell their stories. And some of our stories are so closely related. And some of us, it varies so much. But we have that tie. And that tie is CDH. And whether it's our child or someone we love or someone we know, we've been affected by this. So what we're doing today, what do we do? Now that I have experienced this, what do I do now? Well, what we do is we raise funds. we raise awareness, we get proactive, and we change the future of CDH. And that's what everyone here today is doing. If you donate money today, this money will be spent in such amazing ways, and it will be put to good use. And I'm just so proud of the funds that have been raised today, the support that has been found, the awareness. Oh my heck, all these celebrities, are you kidding me? What? Dawn's been keeping secrets, and
It's been hard.
I'm shocked. I cannot. All of them are amazing. So there's amazing things happening. So awareness is a big deal to our family. Research is a big deal to our family. Raising funds so we can change the future of CDH is a big deal to our family. I loved having Julia on, the researcher. The researcher. She's amazing. She did our blood work last summer when we were at the Utah conference. And I just feel like that's contributing so much. If you guys are interested in doing research, please get a hold of Julia. She's so kind. She's so accommodating. And it is so important. So there's been so much talked about today that I've been super emotional the whole day. Let's be honest. Everyone has been, it's just been really emotional for me. I'm not quite sure why. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. And CDH can kind of, I don't know, CDH can kind of get you that way, you know, like you'll be cool to tell your story one day and the next day you have, you know, tears and snot and everything. But it's such a great thing to share our stories. There's families here that have shared their stories today that have never shared it before. And now they get to tell everybody about their journey and they get to ask for help. Just ask for help. You know what I mean? Like, ask your friends to donate to Cherubs. Instead of having a birthday this year, say, will you donate to Cherubs and CDHi for my birthday? This money will get put to better use than some dumb figurine you're going to sit on your shelf. You know what I mean? That's what I think, at least.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Hope, we've worked together for years now, and I've known you since Tyler was way shorter.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yes.
For a long, long time since he was little, and I've asked you this question before because we've done interviews. I've lost count how many times we've done interviews and talked about your story a lot. The conference in Utah in July, I have not interviewed you since then. And you did an amazing job. And I know that families left that conference feeling like they had a hope that they didn't have, that they had a new CDH family that they didn't have, and that they could deal with this because they weren't alone anymore. And I can say that all day, every day, and people would be like, that's the president, that's her job to brag about what a great time the families had at the conference. So I'm going to let you give a little bit of information, especially on how the families have bonded that met at the conference since the conference. That's been incredible to me. I cry a lot every time I see those things. But yeah. So I'm going to let you talk about that.
Well, you know what, the connections, and not just at the conference, but I mean, we have a ball game at the Salt Lake Bees this Saturday at 6:35 in Salt Lake. If anyone wants to come, get a hold of me and I'll get you tickets. But, you know, we've done ball games, baseball games in Vegas. We've done baseball games in Salt Lake. We've had fundraisers here. This is a big deal, you guys. When you meet another family that has gone through CDH in any capacity, like, the only way to describe it, I tell people, our hearts know a language that our minds don't speak. There's something that happens when we get together. It's just amazing. I have met that Utah conference was life changing for my family, not just for me and my husband and my children. All of us. It was life-changing, and I will never regret going. I mean, we're driving to Salt Lake on Saturday. We're going to leave my house. We're going to drive 5 hours. We're going to go to the ball game. We are definitely staying afterwards to hang out with our friends after the ball game. And then we're driving 5 hours back home so we can be to church on Sunday. This is what we do. And the reason we do this is because of the friendships we have made, the connections we have made, and it is absolutely the best thing. I just love it. I wanted to talk about some things too, Dawn, while I have you here.
Okay. All right. Go for it.
There are some things that I know that some people don't share our stories for whatever reason. Sometimes it makes people sad. Sometimes people don't know really how to talk to us about it or whatever. But sometimes people don't share our stories. But I have been super like a crazy woman for years, and I have told all of my friends and family, if you meet anyone that has been affected by CDH, you give them my phone number, you tell them how to find me on Facebook, you come to my house with them. Like, I want to meet them. I want them to know they're not alone and that we can get through this together. Okay, so in the last like 3 weeks, I have a friend that I met a few years ago, went to Disneyland with her, met up with her at Disneyland a couple weeks ago, and then she texts me out of the blue, and she's like, hey, Hope, guess what? My friend just got diagnosed. Her son has CDH. They just found out. She's like, I know that's what Tyler has. Can you help? Boom. Because she was able to make the connections, okay? A year ago, we had in my town that is not huge, one of my friends randomly shared one of Tyler's story. The next day I get a call from this grandma, and she says, I think my granddaughter was just born with this. And I saw your friend share it on her wall. Can you talk to me about this birth defect? Bam, connection. Last week, my sister texted me out of the blue. She lives in northern Utah, doesn't even live by me. She lives in northern Utah. She texts me out of the blue and says, my coworker's friend just had a baby with CDH. They are scared out of their minds. Can you support them? Bam! So what if my sister wasn't paying attention? What if my friend that went to Disneyland with us hadn't paid attention to me? What if my friend hadn't shared? It all matters. It all matters. And it changes the future of CDH. It helps these families feel connected and not alone. It's so important. So I just had to say thank you to everyone that has reshared and shared and reshared and listened to me scream about CDH for the last 16 and a half years. You see my shirt? Yes, I didn't design this shirt, but I might as well have, because since the minute Tyler was born, we have been trying to raise awareness and give people hope. It's not, I mean, that's my name, and so of course I love this shirt, but we've been doing this for 16 and a half years. You know what I mean? Like, we are here for hope. I want to be with you. I want to hold your hand when you're crying. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to your grandma and say, it's okay. My Tyler has grandmas too that are feeling the exact same way you are. So this is all very important to me. Research, awareness, raising funds. I just am so grateful to be here today, and I'm so grateful that I am in a position that I'm in, that I get to share our story and to try and help. It's so important, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Oh, thank you, Hope. Thank you for everything that you do. I'm going to have to let you go now because we have another mom ready to speak, but
Yay!
You do so much for the charity, and your family is so amazing. Thank you for letting us talk to you and be a part of your journey, and for all that you do for our kids. And talk to you soon. You have a good night.
Bye. See you guys.
All right. Okay, great. So before we have the next speaker on, I'm going to take this